For the past 2 consecutive months, India's UPI transaction numbers have reached the $100 billion mark. While the achievement is momentous, it should be taken with a pinch of salt. Industry experts have remarked that India's banking sector has failed to get on the bandwagon as deep-pocketed foreign technology payment apps have pocketed the major share of the pie. Google Pay, PhonePe, Amazon Pay and Paytm have been a few leading players in the field. However, none of them can be outrightly dubbed as 100% Desi at heart. With the wide array of technological inventions by the government, the decades-old banks of India have had the opportunity to use their goodwill to encash in the digital revolution. But so far, they have failed, and this has given rise to a flurry of questions. Hi and welcome, you're watching TFI English, the national socio-political analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I'm your host Piyush, and in this video I will tell you why there is a need for more homegrown solutions to the rapidly growing online UPI economy culture of the country. Let's begin. Addressing the need for more homegrown, pure Indian solutions to the rapidly growing online UPI economy culture of the country, Union Minister of Electronics and IT Ashwini Vaishnav on Sunday remarked that Indian banks should up their game by using the technological tools at their disposal. Stating that firms have instruments like Aadhaar, UPI, mobile, DigiLocker and others at their disposal, Ashwini Vaishnav remarked, "You have today a very good ecosystem of Aadhaar, DigiLocker and UPI to take up the challenge. Work on the challenge for the next 3 months, come back and I will work the whole day with you to look at the concepts that you have brought." Ashwini Vaishnav's sentiments were echoed by Uday Kotak, Managing Director of Kotak Mahindra Bank, who remarked that banking institutions were seemingly behind the 8 ball in tapping payments technology. In an interview with Bloomberg, Kotak remarked bankers were short-sighted over the past 3 years. Their standard response was, "Oh, there's no money in payments." Kotak further asserted, "I'm not against competition. All I'm saying is that we need to make sure that in the name of better competitive services, we don't have a systemic and stability challenge at the same time." Recalling Prime Minister Narendra Modi's assertion that the most important aspect of digital growth is consumer trust that has to be protected at all costs. Kotak argued, "So we need to make sure that as we go for fintech and grow it, we must also be clear that we do not betray trust." Uday Kotak, the world's richest banker with an estimated net worth of $16 billion, also reminded the traditional banking outlets that they were competing against companies that had other avenues to earn money as well. He said, "We have to keep in mind that consumer tech companies have revenue models outside of finance. For instance, the advertising model or the e-commerce model. Banks, by law under Section 6 of the Banking Regulation Act, cannot get into non-financial business as defined." One of the reasons behind the exponential growth of fintech sector is the low penetration of banking and financial sector services in India through traditional methods. Given the low level of urbanization and low income, more than half of India's population was away from banking services. It was the National Payments Corporation of India (NPCI), a government-backed consortium of banks, that in April 2016 for the first time introduced revolutionary UPI, the Unified Payments Interface System. While PhonePe became the first app to integrate with the system with its payment structure in August 2016, other rivals introduced it in the years to follow. Since then, UPI has become one of the most envious products developed by the country and its government. Such is the popularity of UPI that foreign nations like Singapore and Bhutan have already adopted the online payment system. With 418 crore transactions worth 7.68 lakh crores or approximately $102 billion in November, UPI has continued to breach the $100 billion mark. In October, PhonePe led the UPI numbers with 193 crore transactions worth 3.65 lakh crores. Google Pay maintained its second lead with 145 crore transactions worth 2.87 lakh crores. Next in line were Paytm with 632 million transactions worth 80,508 crores. Amazon Pay with 68.82 million transactions worth 6,286 crores. And WhatsApp Pay with 2.6 million transactions worth 104 crores. According to research firm Traxon, Indian fintech received $7.6 billion of venture capital funding this year through early November, nearly fourfold that of China. However, it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for an innovation that seemingly changed the face of the entire sector. It is imperative to note that PhonePe is owned by Flipkart, which in turn is owned by Walmart. The American supermarket giant has a 10% stake in PhonePe, but owing to its majority stake in Flipkart, it can be asserted that Walmart is the one pulling the strings and making most of the profit. As for Google Pay, the name itself is self-explanatory. Google is a part of the sinister Silicon Six, and as explained by Uday Kotak, consumer trust is a big part of the financial setup, which isn't exactly promised by a company that is infamous for harvesting user data indiscriminately. Paytm, which recently got listed on the stock market riding on inflated numbers and was crushed back to reality on the first day of the listing itself, makes it hard for Indians to love it. The company is heavily funded and operated by Chinese investors, and thus, despite marketing itself as an Indian company, the company management sheets tell a different story. The banks of the country, through their years of service to the common public of India, have built a good reputation and camaraderie. However, by not developing a competitive payment system, they have missed the money-making train. The opportunity is still not lost. The sector is still evolving, and Indians are not averse to hopping on the new technological trends. Moreover, Indians will always trust the security of, say, an SBI bank and its UPI payment system than Google Pay or Amazon Pay.